Hello and welcome to episode 4 of Everything eosDAC. I'm Brandon Cummings, a member of the eosDAC community. In today's episode, we're going to dive into a question that has popped up from the community in one form or another, and that is, who runs eosDAC, and who is responsible for things happening or not happening? This is a valid question, and I'm really happy to see the community stepping up and asking important questions like this to better understand eosDAC and how future DACs might function. So as a base level of ownership, every token holder who is registered as a member has influence on how eosDAC is run. This influence is represented by each member's tokens, which they can use to vote for custodians that are in line with the values and expertise they believe is vital to the direction and success of the DAC. So that's the first part of the equation that is built into the Constitution and is already in the process of being implemented right now via the ability to register as an on-chain member through the eosDAC member client, as well as the upcoming tools that will soon be added that will allow you to view and elect custodian candidates. The second half of that equation, in which influence is not limited by the amount of tokens one holds, is the voice and initiatives set forth by the community. So let me explain what I mean by that. As defined by the eosDAC Constitution, custodians are responsible for approving or denying worker proposals, and as a member and token holder, we vote in those custodians to represent us. So the custodians have direct incentive to listen to the voice and initiatives set forth by the community and seek to approve worker proposals that accomplish those goals so that they can continue to receive votes. Now, the worker proposals and the teams behind them are the last part of the equation. When a worker proposal is approved and implemented, the identity of the person or team behind it is essentially responsible for that piece of contribution to eosDAC. So for instance, if a worker proposal was implemented that did not follow through or deliver something properly, the community would turn to the group behind it for answers and accountability. And if they choose not to respond or brush it off, then they have lost reputation within the community. And when we have a solid solution for identity verification, we can choose not to use those people for services again in the future. Alright, so far we have established that every token holder who is registered as a member has influence in how the DAC is run, both through voting in the custodian board to represent them, and either joining or creating initiatives that garner consensus from the community, and thus the attention of the custodians whose very job depends on understanding what the community wants. Having those three things in alignment, the active community, competent custodians, and value-adding worker proposals, is ultimately what will decide the direction of the DAC. So that's kind of the big picture of who runs eosDAC and who is responsible for getting things done once the DAC is fully launched and functioning. And just to reiterate here, there is no one person who runs eosDAC. It really is a combination of members, custodians, and worker proposals. And even though eosDAC is still in its infancy, having only been running on EOS for a few months now, the answer to the question still follows the same equation. And so far, that's been a medium-sized group of dedicated members that is growing every day alongside the interim custodians and currently approved worker proposals that have been doing their best to grow and nurture the tools and community necessary to fully launch the DAC. Right now, if you already haven't, you can go to members.eosdac.io and use the member client to become a registered member. Very soon, you will also be able to use that same client to view the custodian candidates and even submit yourself as one. You can also jump into the Discord server to ask questions and have your voice and initiatives heard by the community. If you want immediate feedback, the best time to do that is in the all hands meetings held every other Monday at 1 p.m. UTC or during the DAC talk discussions held every Tuesday at 3 p.m. UTC. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I hope that brief overview gives you a better idea of how eosDAC is run and where it is currently. I hope it also inspires you to become a member and get involved. If you have any questions, please drop them in the Discord server or comments below. If you would like to support eosDAC, please consider voting for eosDAC as a block producer and DAC enabler, and be on the lookout in the coming weeks for the announcement of the custodian profiles being added to the member client. That's all for now, guys. Goodbye until next time.